In this video I will be giving tips for navigating the legal system during a divorce as a man with knowledge from experts in Australia, Canada, USA, and UK. Get ready as we uncover what it means to be an informed family law insider while protecting yourself and your loved ones. Divorce is never easy, but having knowledge of how to best handle the situation can make all the difference. Here are some important points to consider when dealing with legal proceedings regarding marital dissolution. Understand that divorces require careful negotiation between both parties or their representatives. No one should proceed without proper advice from qualified professionals such as lawyers or counselors. Take care not to make rash decisions before legally separating that could hurt any party involved. These include financial arrangements like changing bank accounts or selling property without consulting each other first. Avoid court if possible by seeking out alternatives such as mediation, which offers more control over outcomes than litigation does. It is also generally quicker and less expensive than courtroom proceedings, though not always successful in coming up with suitable settlements for both sides due to its lack of structure compared to courts of law. Be aware that different countries have different laws governing marriage breakdowns, so it's worth researching applicable legislation within Australia, Canada, USA, UK, depending on where you live, prior moving forward with any actionable steps towards marital dissolution. This includes things like spousal support obligations. When considering child custody disputes, remember that there are two types: sole custody, one parent holds full responsibility, and joint custody, both parents share parenting duties equally. Both require extensive negotiations between both parties, but ultimately courts want what they believe is best for kids even if one parent disagrees with them, making sure kids get sufficient time spent with both parents usually being priority number one regardless of outcome chosen by adults themselves. This video does not provide legal, financial, or tax advice. The information provided in this video is for informational purposes only and should not be interpreted as legal advice. If you require legal advice, please contact a qualified attorney, for example, by signing up for a free course on our website Divorce Lab Pro. We will connect you with a pre-selected lawyers or other experts you may need. Join our free course to learn how to navigate the divorce process. Learn about the negative impact of divorce on you, children, and family, and how to protect your rights. Pre-selected experts are available to help men through this difficult time. Get it free now at Divorce Lab Pro. Understand the legal process of divorce in your country. In the US, for example, there are two types of divorce: contested and uncontested. Research all available options before making a decision to file for divorce. Consider counseling or mediation as alternatives to filing for divorce. Be aware that filing for a petition of divorce can be expensive and time-consuming. It is not always the best option financially or emotionally. Seek advice from an experienced family law attorney who understands your situation and can provide you with sound legal counsel on how to proceed with your case if you decide to pursue a petition of divorce. Make sure that any agreement reached between yourself and your spouse is legally binding by having it reviewed by an attorney prior to signing it off on both sides. Take into consideration any children involved when deciding whether or not to file for a petition of divorce. Consider their emotional well-being first before taking action, which could have long-lasting effects on them, such as custody arrangements, visitation rights, etc. If possible, try negotiating terms outside court rather than going through litigation, which can be costly and lengthy in some cases depending upon where you live: USA, UK, Australia, Canada. Respect each other's feelings during this difficult time, even though emotions may run high at times. Remember that communication is key when trying to reach an amicable solution without involving lawyers or courts if possible. Do not make decisions based solely on anger, but instead take into account what would be best overall outcome considering everyone involved, including children if applicable. Remember that once filed, petitions cannot usually be withdrawn, so think carefully about proceeding down this route before doing so. Try talking things out calmly with your partner first before resorting straight away towards seeking legal help. Sometimes just discussing matters openly together can lead towards finding solutions more quickly than expected. Don't forget about financial implications associated with getting divorced, such as division of assets, alimony payments, etc. So make sure these issues are discussed thoroughly beforehand too. Keep track of all documents related to proceedings such as court orders, agreements made between parties, etc., as they will come in handy later should disputes arise over certain matters after finalization has been achieved. Stay informed throughout the entire process by reading up relevant information online regarding laws pertaining specifically within jurisdiction where one resides: USA, UK, Australia, Canada. Plus also seek professional advice from qualified attorneys whenever necessary too. Avoid using social media platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. to vent frustrations during proceedings, since anything posted publicly could potentially become evidence used against oneself further down the line should need arise. Remain focused upon main goal, which ultimately should involve preserving marriage and family unit wherever possible, rather than simply giving up and opting straight away towards dissolution via means such as filing petitions. It's important that men take into account all aspects when facing family law issues around divorce, especially since it has implications beyond their own lives. Think about children who may be affected too before proceeding down this path. However, understanding relevant laws along with getting good advice can help protect everyone involved in long run, whether separation ends up occurring now later on down line. Stopping solutions being pursued because they aren't immediately obvious isn't always wise either, so use resources available wisely. Ensure journey ahead runs smoothly, ensuring peace of mind comes sooner rather than later after difficult times end. Join our free course to learn how to navigate the divorce process. Learn about the negative impact of divorce on you, children, and family, and how to protect your rights. Pre-selected experts are available to help men through this difficult time. Get it free now at Divorce Lab Pro.